Hello guys, today I will be showing you how to manage a D&D campaign. So right now I am on the D&D website and I will show you step by step from here. So once you have an account like I do, I click this button, collections, and then my campaigns. And then after you do that, you click create a campaign and then you name it. And then you can add a description, and then once you're done, you go down to your campaign and click view campaign. This will bring you to your campaign page. So then you click copy link and then you send it to your players. I will do that right now. So here is your player side. So they have to have the mobile app. Then once they get here, they have to click campaigns, then join campaign, and then they just put in the link you sent them. And then once they do that, they can either create a character or join with one of their characters. So I'm going to join with him. Alright, let me check. Okay, he's in there. And then there you are in. And then, yeah. Okay. I will go back to my side, the DM. After that, in the campaign, you can see where your players are. You can see who your players are and manage them. If you click this view button, you can look at their character sheet and stuff. And then, if you click edit, you can, of course, edit the character and get it to your likings. And then there's unassign, which is for the players. They can unassign it. Then you can claim it. And then there's deactivate and remove. These are only DM exclusive things. If a player is deactivated, they are not in the campaign and they cannot do anything. And then if you remove it, of course it removes it. So, and then here is the game log that shows you the game. I will show you what that looks like on the player side. So on the player side, they can go to their character and then they can like look at it and stuff. And then if I were to just roll a d20, it shows up in both this game log, you can also see your characters there, this game log, and the other game log. It also shows up in this game log. Oh, gosh. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, then that's the whole game log thing. You can also see the game log when you're on your map by clicking that button. Now, since we've gone over the basics, let's go over maps. So to do a map, you click Launch VTT. This loads up the map. Then you can choose a map. I already owned some maps, but let's choose a basic map and name it. Let's just do this grass. And then you can name it whatever you want. I will just name it. Only the DM can see what they're named. Once that, it opens it up. It shows everything. I will show you what the player's side looks like. So for players, to get to the map, you have to click on your character, click the gear, manage character and levels, and then if you open up, then you click the 3 lines in the corner, click collections, my campaigns, and then you go to your campaigns. Then if you click launch VTT, you can see the players. Oh gosh. You can see the player's side. We will be going over this later. Back to the DM side. Okay, so here are the basics for the DM. This is the select tool that lets you select characters. This is the pan tool. I do not know what it does because I have to use phone. This is fog of war. This covers it up so then players cannot see what's going on. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Give me a sec to fix this. Okay. And then here is the draw tool, which you can draw and erase stuff. And then here is the shape tool to where you can add shapes. And you can like change the color of them. But yeah, these are cool. And then here's the ruler, which you can measure out where things are. Here is the point and ping. I do not know what the point does, but the ping pings stuff. Then here are the monsters and characters and companions. I'll show you how to do all of this. Here are the stickers which you can add, and if you have any, you can have some reveals. And yeah. Okay. So up here is the combat encounters. I will go over that with you later. And then up here is the map thing. Here is if you're DMing. When you're DMing, you can roll to yourself or to everyone. And then here are the settings and keyboard shortcuts. Then down on the bottom, we have the game log and how you can roll your dice. Like if I want to roll all these, I rolled that. And then here is like info and stuff. Here is where you could zoom in. And then full screen. And then the computer button loads it up in the player's perspective. Well, that's how I have to do it. Then on the bottom, you can see that there is a... Let's give it a sec. On the bottom, you can see that there's a start session button. You can pause the session, resume the session, and end the session. Here is what you can do in the player's perspective. You can do the same things, but you can't use fog of war and the reveals. I actually never used one of these reveals. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, you can like show what you can see and stuff. And then here's how you do your things. So here's the players. If I have to use phone, so I have to turn it. You can click the plus button to add them to the map. You can move them around. You can lock them in place so they cannot move. You can change their name, add a border around them, and delete them. Then in this one, it has where you can add them to the combat encounter. You can add them to the combat encounter, hide them so the players can't see it, and then yes. So that is what the players look like. And then here is what the monsters look like. So here's what the monsters look like. They have the same things, but in this version, you can look at their stats. Oh gosh. You can manage health. Then you can do the same things. And now let's go over stickers. No, I'm on the wrong tab. Sorry. Okay, now let's go over stickers. So we are gonna just use a start here box. Here is what you can do. You can like zoom it in and out, rotate it, and do the same things with it like you can with a player. These are just like stickers. They go underneath the players and monsters. And yeah. And then now here is the combat encounter. I'm just going to load up a new thing. Okay, so let's say there is a mimic, a white dragon, a young white dragon, and then there's a mimic and a young white dragon. If you do not want to click the buttons to add them, you can add all tokens. Then you can auto initiative. It's just your initiative button. It's just the initiative button, but rolling d20. So for a combat encounter to start, you don't have to have all of them. Like I don't want the young white dragon, so I'll click that button. I'll be right back. Let me get it started. Okay, so here it'll show you how hard it is, and you can delete all of them, then add all of them. And then before you start, you can give them an advantage, a disadvantage. You can say they're neutral, a good, or bad. He is on the good team. He has no thing. And then you can do the same for them. If I click start combat, it starts combat. It's based on how high your initiative is. So for what? Okay. So combat's very easy. You can click the end combat button if you click that arrow. Next goes to next. Reback is for back. And then if you click the health, you can like deal damage or heal damage and stuff. And then here is the character sheet. And then yeah. So attacks go by turns. So I would go into my handbook and go into M. Let's find it. Mummy, mule, monitor, mimic. So for attacks, I can move it to a total of 15 speed. Each block is 15. So each block is a total of 5 feet. So I can move the mimic 5, 10, and then right there I can attack it. Then it would be Springtrap's turn. I'd go there, and then now I would go to his character sheet. Just give me a sec. Okay, since I'm playing Springtrap, I would do his character sheet. So then he can choose any one of these, or spells. Where are the spells? Just give me a sec. Spells. I don't think he has. Oh. Where are my spells? Here we are. Let me open up the menu. That's the dice menu. Where the frick are my spells? Okay, well, I don't have spells. So to hit, I'd have to roll a d20 and add that. So I rolled an 8. Let's see if I hit. I do not hit because of the armor class. The armor class is not high enough for an 8. Then, since I did not hit, which means I do not get an attack, which means it's the Mimic's turn. Doop. Okay, now time for the Mimic's turn. So the Mimic would use an action or a skill of their choice, and then it goes for the same. So I'm gonna use Bite because I am the DM. It adds a 5 to a hit. Adds +5 to a hit. Has 5 feet range and 1d8 plus 3. So here's how I would do it for the DM. Okay, so to hit, I would bring up my dice and roll a d20 to see if I hit. I got a 13, so 13 plus 5 is 18. I do hit because look, Springtrap's armor class is less than a 13. So now I would go and roll my hit. So I would roll my, let me check it again. So I'd roll my 1d8 and add 3 to it. So 3, 4, 5. So I deal 5 damage. As Dungeon Master, you can deal it just by doing this. And then, yeah. And then, I think it's 8, I said. So now he has that. He can also get a condition. Let's check if he gets any conditions from it. It also adds some piercing damage +4, which means it goes through the shield. And the piercing damage, so it is piercing damage, acid damage. So to do that, I roll 1d8 and attack him for that. So I roll 1d8 and then deal an extra 3 damage. So now Springtrap is dead. Here is the death process. It is now Springtrap's turn. Hello, Springtrap? You're dead. Hello? Okay, here's how the death process works. So your DM chooses how high they have to roll to see if they are unconscious or not. So I'm gonna do that for Springtrap right now. So I would roll my d20. We're gonna say that he has to roll over a 5. He got 15, which means he gets 1 success. If you roll a 20, you get 1 HP. But if you don't get a 20, if you get a 1, you get 2 failures. So that was Springtrap's turn, which now makes it the Mimic's turn. So the Mimic is just gonna pass its turn to Springtrap because he can't attack anything. If Springtrap gets dead, the Mimic wins and all that. So Springtrap is going to roll his d20. He rolls a 20, which means he gets 1 HP back. Now it is the Mimic's turn. Boop. So now the Mimic is going to attack Springtrap. Okay, let's go over here. He is gonna Let's see. The mimic is going to use grappler, which means that the creature is now grappled, which means that Springtrap is now grappled. So from here, you just click conditions, and then if you click, then you can click grappled, and now the monster is grappled. Springtrap's grappled, which means he has a disadvantage on attacking other monsters, and he does not have one on there, and he is a total of 5 feet away from the monster. So Springtrap is now grappled by the monster, which means he cannot move or anything. Now makes it Springtrap's turn. Voila. Okay, so Springtrap is going to do an attack. Now Springtrap is gonna roll. Now here is the button. Okay, so he's gonna try to use his dagger. He got an 18. Let's check if he hit. So he does hit, because that 18 is less than 12. 18 is higher than 12. Now let's see how much he deals. And he deals a total of 3 damage. So this is how the combat works. That's how combat works. Now let's go over. I actually don't know. Give me a sec to think. Well, that is your tutorial of how to manage a D&D campaign. You could drag everything around and stuff and build the thing. I hope you have a great time. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you share this with your friends and help them become a better DM. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.